So let's talk about setup from down the line. What I have in my hand is a sand wedge. As I'm setting up here, if I was going to hit a small shot, standing pretty vertical, if I just push my belt buckle back, it's going to help me hinge from the hips to feel like I'm just tilted over just slightly. So we just want to watch that we don't start getting rounded down to get to the golf ball. So if I get too much curve in my back, it's going to be hard for my rib cage to turn back and through. Or if I started rounding that, it's like, oh, pretty hard to make a turn in the swing. Or if I stand tall, eyes are straight, ooh, now it feels like I can move a lot easier. So as I'm getting set into a wedge, just kind of pushing the hips back a little bit, kind of bending from the hip sockets with a little bit of knee flex. So it feels like I'm balancing my shoes, pretty equal pressure from heels to toes. And as I'm just holding the club in my right hand, now I can maybe nestle in just slightly closer, but now it feels like it's a lot easier to make a little motion back and forth underneath my rib cage, as opposed to if I get too hunched over, maybe legs too tall, or if I start kind of sitting down and back, I really don't have room underneath me for my arms to swing with a little bit of rib cage rotation. Now if I grab the 7-iron, same idea. If we go grip is on, arms are comfortably long, I just let the club head come down a little bit so it's stopped by that heel pad. It'll never be in line with the forearm unless we have it in the wrong position. So it makes two angles, one from the arm, one from the club shaft. I'm just standing tall looking forwards. If I let the arms fall, my left arm is going to fall on top of the chest. My right arm is going to stay soft on the side. You can see more of my left arm above my right arm. Both of those fell as low as they can go. From there I can go ahead and bow from the waist. Same idea that I'm pushing my hip back from that belt buckle. As I step into a 7-iron, left foot, right foot kind of nestle into there. Now I'm in a position where it's easy to rotate the rib cage, like I can push that right shoulder back and there's room to go. If I got in here, same thing like the chipping, crunched over, hands get too low, now it's going to be hard to really glide that rib cage back and turn, especially in the hips and the chest. So 7-iron, kind of starting tall, looking forwards, arms are set, arms come down, club comes down, kind of hinge from the waist, let the club hover. Maybe I'm touching the grass, but I'm setting my feet underneath me with a little knee flex that it feels like my heels and toes are balanced. I'm not too much in the heels, not too much in the toes, and my lead arm is comfortably long and pushing out to set the radius. Now it's going to make it easier to wind up in the backswing and make a swing on the way through. If we go driver, same concept. Just want to show you some different views. So my grip's on, left arm's built, right arm's soft. Arms fall on top of the chest, right arm's more on the side of the chest. Club's already unhinged downwards. From there, if I add a little hip hinge to get closer to the ground, I can set my left foot for ball, right foot for stance width. And you can see same picture where I'm more upright. I'm not necessarily trying to keep my back up and straight, but I'm keeping it more up to give me the room to feel like it's easy to go backswing, through swing. As opposed to if I get sitting, now my shoulders want to turn too level. If I get too much tilted down to the ground with the chest, now it kind of locks up the turning of the rib cage. And maybe if I get too in sitting in the hips, well, now it's kind of hard to turn in the hips. So we want to stay tall, but not too tall. We still want to have a little bend forwards. We still want to feel like we're athletically set with our knee tilts, and say, does that now give us room to make a backswing and swing on through? So build the setup from top down, not feet first, knees, hips, tilt, and then match the arms. We want to go club face, grip, lead arm, check, trail arm, check. Let the club unhinge, let the left arm, lead arm fall in the chest, add a little bit of tilt down to the ground, and then from there I can move my feet closer so it's hovering behind the golf ball, left foot, right foot, a little bit of stomping back and forth to feel like my feet are balanced from toes to heels, from left to right, taking a look at my target. Now I have plenty of room in my body, a bunch of space to wind up, make a swing.